Hi, my name is Emily Gray. I am a new transfer student here at Clemson University, and I recently attended the New Student Dialogue held for new transfer students of the 2013 spring semester. I was in attendance of the second happiest campus, a dialogue on mental health at Clemson, and I'm really, really appreciative of that experience that I got to have. The orientation was a bit overwrought in the sense of there was a lot of PowerPoint presentations, a lot of information thrown at you, and a lot of icebreakers, and it got a little bit monotonous at times. But then when coming into this new student dialogue, it was very refreshing because you got to kind of sit back, get to know the people around you, and discuss a topic that you thought was the most interesting to you. So going into the mental health dialogue, there were a lot of people in attendance. I think that's because it might have been the least controversial topic that was available. So walking in, like I said, a lot of different people were in attendance, a lot of different demographics, and you kind of walk in with some sort of preconceived notions. You kind of tag people a certain way, saying, oh, well, they are probably not going to talk at all, or, oh, this person's probably going to talk a lot, or this person looks like this kind of person, and this person looks like this kind of person. That was something I was guilty of myself, walking in. I definitely did that. However, as time progressed and we started to do all the different programs and all the different activities, that was broken down very quickly. So the first thing that we did was an identifying sheet, which was a circle that had, different characteristics like race, religion, different qualities that you might possess, and kind of categorize them in the sense that's most important to you, and why it's most important to you. So as a responsibility for all of us to do, we all met up in groups of 2 or 3 and discussed our own circles. And that was a really good opportunity to do first off the bat, because I think it allowed a lot of conversation, a lot of breakdown of, like I said, that initial stereotype of people. I was in a group of 2 girls who, once I talked with, I really enjoyed their company, and I really enjoyed the different perspectives they had on certain things. So coming back in a group aspect, I think everyone felt a little bit more comfortable. There was a lot less tension in the room, and that just kind of jump-started the conversation, right? So a lot of people were coming in and talking about the differences and the similarities they had with their different groups and what kind of was brought to their attention in that regard, which obviously encompasses the purpose of the dialogue, is to hold those conversations that you wouldn't normally have in a regular setting. And so I think students really, really appreciated that. And again, just a continuation of that breakdown of those initial stereotypes they had coming in. I am from upstate New York, and I've never been in the South before, and so I definitely came in with some preconceived notions, but I'm really glad I had the experience to break down those notions and those stereotypes by being in a room with all these people who I thought were one way initially, and then as soon as we started talking, completely changed my perspective. And those people who I tagged as maybe people who are going to be disruptive or not engaging enough, they ended up being the most talkative and the people who provided the most information. That was really, really great and, really awesome to see. And so after that, we broke up into groups of about 6, and we were held with the responsibility of drawing a disorder that we were given. So my group had anorexia, another group had ADHD, another group had schizophrenia. So all mental disorders that come around at time, especially for college students. Anorexia, you think it's more of a physical eating disorder type thing, but we came to realize that it was really a mental thing. It's really how you viewed yourself and viewed your confidence level and your abilities and your beauty, really. And we kind of realized that as we looked around the room, and when we all finished our drawings of what this disorder is supposed to look like, we all sat around the room and we noticed everyone had these stick figures and, a very sad depiction of what it was supposed to mean, and that kind of made us all realize it's so much more to quantify than the drawing could give it. Going to show that you can't just judge something based off what you think it may look like. It's a much more deeper meaning, and having disorder is much more internal than you would believe. So breaking down those internal barriers was the next point that was kind of brought up. And our facilitators did a great job of kind of explaining how to best support people with these types of like inner conflicts. And not to say that people with disorders, but people in general. I mean, we all have a lot of inner strife that goes on, and it's really good to communicate about that stuff. So I think that was the biggest point that was taken away, is to really never judge a book by its cover, and really keep an open mind when you're meeting new people and you're learning about new things and taking in their experiences as well. That's something that I certainly took away from. And after that dialogue, I was very excited to be a part of Clemson, because I saw that the diversity that we were upholding, and beyond that, I saw that diversity can't be really quantified by one stereotype or the other stereotype. It's diversity among each individual, and finding the similarities and the differences, and just really appreciating them. So I think that was the real purpose of the New Student Dialogue, and I'm really glad I had an opportunity to do that. For that being said, I really think that the New Student Dialogue was really, really productive for the new transfer students and for CU 100, getting that insight on what Clemson will be like on a social perspective was really good, and had a really good contrast to learning about the library and learning about the alcohol awareness and the logistical things. It brought a social aspect to that too, which I thought was really great. Like I said, I think it's really, really useful for students going through this when they come to Clemson, because, like I said, it expands your horizons and allows you to keep an open mind about things, which is really important when you're in college, because you're going to be exposed to anything and everything when you get here. So I really, really appreciated the opportunity, and as someone who's in student government currently, using those new student dialogues is something that I definitely plan on looking into for certain projects or initiatives that I think would be really beneficial for the student populace. So definitely be using that as a resource, and getting to that initial new group of students that are coming in, and molding them into the individuals that we want to see leave the campus in the next coming years. So yeah, I think it's a really good opportunity, and I'm really glad I had the chance to be a part of it. And so thanks